going to blame Brennan for this, so it's not ready.
It's a good idea.
Right? He's a Plattsburgh guy, right? I can take him.
So Pete, when you guys originally left this building last week, you guys were down 0-2. Tonight, you guys clinched a spot in the Eastern Conference Finals. Whirlwind of a weekend for you guys.
Yeah, it's been like that all year. I think when we're on the top of our game, we're one of the best teams in the league. And when we're not, it gets a little squirrely and it can be hectic and more stressful than it needs to be. So it looks like we kind of figured it out just in time for this series, that's for sure.
You know, Matt Steve, a guy that didn't start in the lineup for the Thunder in the playoffs, and then you go to Maine, you play there, you take 2 out of 3 against him. He was in the lineup. He plays all 3 games in the Admirals. What goes into that decision to sit him and then play him again? I mean, it's just one of those guys that's just a spark plug.
It just depends on how our guys are playing and what the matchup is. So it's not necessarily one thing or the other. It could be both. For him, I wasn't super happy with one of his games in Maine, and I thought that was a bit of a heavier series. And this series didn't seem like it was as heavy, and we needed to move the puck more. So we put Stiefer back in. He did a great job for us.
Coach, talk about this team's effort tonight, a 5-12 win. When we talked yesterday on the phone, we had said it was kind of going 2-1, 2-1, 5-2. You guys come out at home 5-1, a huge performance.
Yeah, I think these guys understand that if we were to lose the momentum against this team, they're not a team you want to lose that momentum against. They feed off that chaos. That's how they want to play. They're successful that way. So I thought we started the game really well. You could tell that we were dialed into the details and our habits. And obviously getting that first goal was huge and unreal game for Phil Engaras, obviously.
Yeah, that was my next question. Engaras comes out a hat trick. He's been quiet in these playoffs and comes out hot as could be tonight in the game 6.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, you look at a guy last year for Worcester, Steven Jandrick. He went up all year, and then he comes back for playoffs, and he's expected to play 20, 22 minutes, run the power play, and it's really, really hard to do that when that's not been your role all year in the American League. So when Phil comes here, he's on the power play, he plays 4-on-4, he's expected to carry the puck and make plays. When you haven't done that for 50 games, it's not like flipping a light switch. But Phil is a pro. Phil works. Phil's always on the D side of the puck. And then the hockey gods are going to reward you when you do the right things. And he just doesn't complain about anything. He's just a great guy. And he's someone that you're just really happy to see him have that success in such a pivotal game for us.
Ghantous, a guy who's been in and out of the lineup the entire playoff. 3 assists tonight. You've got to be happy with his performance tonight.
Yeah, he's another young guy figuring out what it takes to be successful this time of year. More moving your feet and not using your hands as much. But when he's moving his feet and his hands together, it's a dangerous combination. I thought he was on top of it tonight with his forecheck, stripping pucks, working both ways. And if we can get him going, it's just another threat that we have up front.
Another young guy who had chances, Alex Young, had a ton of chances tonight. A guy who did great for you guys at the end of the regular season. When you guys picked him up now, you've got to be happy with his play.
Yeah, he moves his feet well. He's got high-level skill, shoots the puck well, a little bit differently, and he's getting a good season in here of playoff hockey. So we're lucky to have him, and I think he's kind of fortunate to be in this situation as well to get such good experience coming out of school.
You know, you started the playoffs with a lot of guys that didn't necessarily have the playoff experience. Now you're moving on to the Eastern Conference Final. It's a rematch from 2018. Guys are just getting more comfortable getting that experience playing, 10-plus games, and you have to be comfortable with that as a head coach.
Yeah, they're learning on the fly, and they're doing it well. They're doing it the right way. And they have a lot of resiliency, a word we keep using. But now moving forward, it's just going to get more challenging. So I think they see what works: simplicity, hard at the blue lines, all the things that we always talk about, and not complicated the game. That's how you have to play to be successful now.
Red Ralph, obviously, having a lot of success with the Florida Everblades. 8 series wins in a row for them, back-to-back Kelly Cup champs. They came here in November, played very well against them, took 2 out of 3, go down there during the regular season, didn't really have the performance you wanted to. How do you prepare for them, especially only seeing them 6 times throughout the regular season? Obviously, it's a lot of tape, but you know how good of a team they are with their forecheck and how they're just able to put pucks deep in the net.
Yeah, I think they've won 10 series in a row now. They set the record. So we've got our hands full. But we've got some chemistry now. The key for us will be to get some rest tomorrow, come back, have a practice, watch some film, and then focus on us, our energy, our regeneration, and playing the right way. We know they're a good team. We know what they're all about. It'll be a fun challenge and a very difficult one at that.
How do you describe them compared to the two teams you just beat to get here? You know, what are their strengths compared to the Maine? And
they're a mixture of both. They're big and heavy and structured like Maine, and they can score goals like Norfolk can't. They have a better goalie probably, so they got a little bit of everything. That's why they're two-time champs, and they came back from 3-1 down in the first round and won 2 games on the road to finish them off. So yeah, we've got our hands full, and it'll be a fun challenge.
Coach, what has impressed you the most about your team coming back from 2 down and winning 4 straight and getting 3 on the road on top of that?
Their resiliency, right? They care about each other in there. You know, Ryan Smith said earlier in the year, what can we do with this team? Win the East. Okay, well, we're going to have an opportunity to do that now. So they have the resiliency, and that's because they have the belief in each other that they can beat anybody.
You got to be happy with the goaltending. You know, you kind of look at Florida. They've got a strong goaltender in Cam Johnson. You know, the goaltenders you guys have down here. Isaac Poulter has played great all postseason. And Jeremy Berto with 2 starts has played great too.
Yeah, it's a sign of, like we just alluded to, how much they care about each other and they believe and what's possible with this group. So no matter who's in the net, they play well. They play the same way with confidence and no quit.
How big was it for you guys to win this one tonight and get that extra day of rest instead of having to play Game 7 tomorrow?
I think it's huge, right? I believe Florida will be here tomorrow night. They've been waiting in the wings. And that extra game against Maine, obviously, you know, I think you really see that in those 2 third periods that we had at home to start the series, where we were well within reach, and then the wheels fell off a little bit due to that fatigue. So, yeah, I mean, the less games we have to play, the better. And now our job is, like we said before, we understand what they are, but can we get back to the top of our game as it pertains to our energy level?
Eric Mittendorf, Timur Ibrahimov, for any of them an option for Game 1?
Ibrahimov is an option, potentially. Middendorf, no.
this team obviously draws off the energy from the fans. But as we all know, you went down to Norfolk, you went 3 in a row. How do you do that without these fans behind you? What was the difference down there?
I mean, we've been a good road team all year long. I don't really have a concrete answer for that. These guys just understood what the task was, and they didn't want their season to be over. So we got a huge performance from Poulter, and then we win in overtime. And even though maybe they were the better team for parts of that game, that gives us all the momentum in the world. And we knew we get this thing back to Lake George, Glens Falls, and I don't think we're losing.
You know, for you, obviously a big mentor was Cal McLean. Obviously, tying him for playoff wins probably doesn't mean much to you, but seeing the success of what he built and what Brad Tapper built, and seeing your success as a coach for in the playoffs, that just has to feel good, especially being a former player, being a former captain of this team. You've seen playoff runs be successful with the Thunder. You mentioned it with Rob during the pregame second round against South Carolina, the Gunnar Hughes goal in overtime. So just take a second, and what does that mean for you personally?
I'm just proud to have played for Kale. I can remember talking to him from my kitchen in Graz, Austria about the potential of coming here, and that he really wanted to know why we wanted to come here as an older player, and the conversation was about winning. I just want to win a ring here. So special to play for him. Never got a chance to play for Tapper, but know that was an exciting time as well. So it's always fun to be mentioned with really good hockey people.
Coach, talk about the atmosphere in this building tonight. You know, almost a full house. You know, you guys went on home ice. You said all year, this crowd's got to be amazing, and to win it in front of them, just as special.
Yeah, it was unreal. You could feel it, the atmosphere, and the other team's got to love it too. It's just like you're playing pro sports at the minor league level, and you're in a building like this. It doesn't get a whole lot better, so it feels different right now too. It's like the team and the fans are really, we always say it, but it really feels like we're all connected and everybody's invested in what's going on, and you can feel that it's, regardless of what happens in the next round, it's a special year regardless. So hopefully we can continue to provide good experiences and make some more memories together.
What can you say about this performance that the Admirals put up this battle, these 6 games to beat you guys twice on home ice? Just kind of wrap it up for the Admirals and what they did this series.
I mean, it's impressive what Carsey did with them. As soon as he got hired last year, he started filtering the bad apples out and bringing the good apples in, and he did the same thing this summer and even this year, and it's impressive because they play the same exact way. They all have an identity. They're really hard to play against because they trust each other, right? They just know how they're going to play, so that makes it very challenging to play against, especially in a series. So I think we ended up wearing them down a little bit with our size and our physicality, and ultimately we ended up on top, and we're grateful for that, clearly.
Thanks, Coach.
Good luck, you guys. See you next time. Pizza time.
You know, we kind of talked about it. You were walking into the door, and I just kind of said, like, you know, it's kind of do or die for them. You were in the driver's seat. You were in the driver's seat last series. You couldn't get it done. What was the motivation going into morning skate this morning to say, okay, it's time to get that extra day of rest and let's move on to Florida, a team that you are very familiar with?
Yeah, I think we felt that a lot, or going into this series, that extra day is going to do a lot for us. That extra day off will really help, especially when Florida's been off for a few days now. So it was just not sitting back and coming out right from the start and playing our game, not taking any shifts off.
Yeah, you know this Florida team a little better than a lot of the guys in that locker room. Just talk about heading into this next series, what you know that they do well and that you can kind of spread to this locker room.
Yeah, no, they play a very structured game. They try not to get out of their systems too much. Their systems are good. I mean, we're going to have to do exactly what we've been doing to find success here in the last few games here. I mean, it shows it's night and day when we're on and when we're taking a couple shifts off here and there. I mean, Poulter saved our butt a lot in those spots. He got peppered the one game, and it's just finding our game and sticking with it against a team like that, because they're gonna come out and play the same way every single game. So we have to be able to show up every single day and be able to play the 80K hockey that we know we can play.
You guys came, when you guys last left this building, you guys were down 2-0. You guys come back here, up 3-2. You guys win it tonight. How big was it for you guys to win it? Not only in a game 6, but to do it in front of these fans.
Huge. I mean, it was pretty disappointing for all of us. I know guys were upset. We lost 2 at home, and I mean, we got the best fans in the league. I think you heard them tonight. You definitely heard them tonight. But yeah, it was huge for us to come back home and show our fans and show ourselves that we deserve this, and we've earned it, and we've worked hard to get to this point, and it's our time to win.
You know, you look at some of the young guys, Engaras tonight with the hat trick.
Yeah.
You know, Ghantous with 3 assists.
Yeah.
And Alex Young had some really solid chances tonight. You got to talk; those 3 have really been huge for you guys tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like I said many times now, Pete has got so many hard decisions with these young guys, putting them in and out of the lineup. I mean, these guys come in and they contribute every single night. It doesn't matter who goes in the lineup. Everybody's been playing hard, and for those guys to have a big night's pretty special for sure.
How big does that youth kind of help you guys, you know, especially in a game 6, to see these young guys, what you're going to get from Ashburn, you know what you're going to get from Harper, but seeing a guy like Ghantous and a guy like Engaras, you had 1 game in the entire postseason, get 3 tonight, that's going to be a huge boost to his confidence going into Florida.
Yeah, confidence is huge. I mean, especially for me, I know confidence is a game changer in the playoffs too. And when you're playing with confidence, it makes a world of a difference. And to see those guys really find their game's huge. I mean, I practice against those guys since they've been here, and they're special players. Yeah. They're both extremely talented and younger too. I mean, they've got every hockey gift there is, and I mean, for them to really kind of shine tonight and find their game was special for them for sure.
You guys chased, Norfolk Admirals for the division lead there before you guys went on your run. Obviously, another team that was in kind of the similar position that the Thunder were in last year. Jeff Carr is a very competitive coach, but to face off against them and the rivalry you had, it only kind of grew as this playoff series went on. But what could you say about that once it's all said and done?
Yeah, they were hard to play against. I mean, we had to compete. I mean, the first 2 games we showed it. We didn't quite, maybe nerves, maybe not enough time off, but I mean, we can't make excuses. We got to show up. But we took a couple shifts off here and there, and they scored. They can score on demand. That group knows exactly what their coach wants of them. And yeah, they're hard to play against. They like to finish checks, and yeah, they were definitely pretty quick. They like to play a kind of in the D zone. They'll chip the puck, and their forwards will skate onto it, and every guy buys into that. They know how to play, and they all stick to the same game plan. So it was big for us for sure.
Was there anything that you could remember, maybe heading to Norfolk or when you were in Virginia, maybe after you won the second game, or the first game or the second game, that you said, you know what, tides are turning here, and I think we got a big run at this?
Honest to God, I think it was even after that second game loss. I mean, guys weren't hanging their heads. We weren't feeling bad for ourselves. It was more of giving ourselves a kick in the butt and knowing how we can play, and if we can show up and play the same way for these 4 games that we played, it was we knew things would work out well for us, and we'd have a better chance of winning every single game. So I honestly think going into the locker room after that second game loss, guys were obviously upset and not happy with it, but it was on us. And I think for us to hold ourselves accountable right after that second loss and to go into Norfolk and right away play the right way, I think, yeah, it was honestly right after the second loss. All set?
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Later.
Cool. So tonight, the last couple games that you started, I talked to Coach Mack about it. It was a 2-1 and then a 2-1 overtime win. Tonight, the offense kind of helped you out. Talk to me about what you saw in front of you tonight.
I mean, we had a lot of possession in the O-zone, started creating some good chances right off the bat tonight, scored real early on, and then, in the second we had a little lull, but we still had all those chances. And then in the third period, it seemed like everything that we've been working on the last 3-4 games, it just kind of exploded. And, it's great to see, and it's nice to have that, in Game 6 going into a new series, to have that confidence that we can score lots of goals.
How excited are you to get this opportunity to play these meaningful type of playoff games?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, it's my second year pro, and this is kind of exactly what you want. You want to be in meaningful games at the end of a hockey season. Now it's meaningful game every single night, and I think it's incredible to have this experience.
I think that 54 save game you guys had in Game 3. How big was that for you guys momentum-wise to kind of not only get a win, but to kind of look at each other and be like, hey, we can come back here?
I mean, it was huge. We played a great game. A lot of block shots, and they made my job pretty easy. And it wasn't until after the game that I actually knew that. Zach Walker came up and said, you should be proud of yourself. Look how many shots you saved. And I looked up and I was like, oh, that's 54 saves. I had no idea until after the game that the shots were even that high. But no, I'm just proud of the group and proud of everything we overcame coming back from 2-0. So I hope that continues going forward.
What does that mean for you to have your name now in the record books as most saves in a Thunder playoff game?
I mean, it's incredible. I'm very proud of myself, but my goalie coach in Utica, he's been here a couple times, Brian Eklund, had 83 saves. So I had to look it up after the game, see how close I was, and realize I was very far off. So I'm not hoping that we have to go to 4 overtimes, but if they want to put 80 pucks in on me from center ice, I'd appreciate it, just so I could beat his record. But
Holter, you always talked about how you guys just want to get wins here. It's 8 wins for you guys now. Going to Florida, coaches mentioned it, especially for you, the amount of you played. How big is this extra day of rest for you guys before you guys play Florida on Friday?
I mean, it's huge. It's nice to finish the series off tonight and get a nice rest day tomorrow. Be able to kind of regroup and just get everything going and get prepared for a new series. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Colts.
So that's gotta feel good for you tonight. 3 goals. That's gonna feel good for you. And when you're finishing it off in 6 games.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think the team played really well tonight. So we really wanted to close it down tonight, and we showed up, and it's obviously fun to score 3.
What was the difference? You guys left here down 2-0. Going to Norfolk. What was the message to the team? Kind of going to Norfolk for those 3 games.
Yeah, I mean, I think we kind of got a little stunned the first 2 games, but kind of figured them out and figured out our game plan and really just focused on us. And I think, we really dialed in our own game plan, and I think we executed really well in Norfolk and then kept the momentum here, I guess, yeah.
That OT win you guys had, Holter with those 54 saves, that must have been a turning point for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. That win was like every guy in the room, like, here we go, like, now we're coming. Like, it's, and as you said, Isaac stood on his head that night, and he's been both these series. It's been unreal. So yeah, happy to have him back there.
You've had quite a quieter postseason. Now you come out. Anything different about tonight's game, or was it kind of just that mentality that you want to take it upon yourself and win this one at home in Game 6?
Yeah, no, I was not really much different. I have a lot of chances, but maybe haven't gotten the bounces yet. But tonight, I felt like it was just the puck bounced my way and got a little puck luck. So kind of like it's all it takes. I get so tight in these postseason games. Like the playoffs is so tough. Like very defensive on both sides. So you just gotta play well, play a good two-way game, and then eventually you get some puck luck.
What can you say about the guys that you were playing with as well? Ghantous 3 assists, Roman 2 assists. That line was electric tonight.
Yeah, no, as you said, like two great guys that loves to play with the puck and really good with making plays and win puck battles on the walls. Like the first goal, Roman took it to the net and just a rebound, and then Gantz had a pretty sweet sauce pass over to me, and yeah, I mean, we said before the game, like, just play hard, try to win every puck battle, and I think we did a pretty good job.
Coach, tell me personally what this crowd means to you. You know, everybody else here knows the energy, but you come down here, you got to be surprised. I'm assuming, you know, about what it's like here. What has it meant to you to play in front of these people, the energy and the atmosphere?
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome.
Or were you surprised at what you've experienced so far?
Not really. I've heard so much how good the fans are here. Like, it's such a fun place to play in. And yeah, I mean, the few games that I was playing during the season, same thing. Like, the fans are unbelievable, and it just ramps up now in the playoffs, which is awesome.
You look at, you guys take me the last 4 games. Skeoch mentioned it, the extra day of rest. How big is that for you guys? Going into Florida in Game 1 with a 4-game win streak and the extra day of rest.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's really good for us to get some rest, as you say. It's very important, and then just start thinking about ways to beat Florida.
What's the mindset for you guys, kind of going into Game 1, knowing that the first 2 series you guys dropped the first game?
It's just play our game. Like, we know when we're successful. We know our game plan. We know when we play well. Just keep doing those things, and then eventually you'll find tendencies more and more. And before we'll obviously scout them and see what their tendencies are, and we'll adjust from there. And just focus on our game, I would say.
You look at the goaltending here. It's like no matter who's in net for you guys. Obviously Florida's got Cam Johnson, but Jeremy Bruder, he's only gotten 2 starts, but he's looked great in those 2 starts. And we all know what Poulter's done this whole postseason. It's got to be great to have those 2 guys behind you guys.
Yeah, I mean, we got 2 unbelievable goalies. Like, no matter who you put in that, they're gonna, like, both of them can steal a game, no problem. So it's very comfortable having those 2.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All posted, you've been in and out of the lineup. Tonight, 3 assists for you. That's got to be a huge momentum, a huge confidence boost for you.
Yeah. Definitely wasn't used to playing this many games so close together. Playoff hockey is tough and hard, but it's been a lot of fun, and it was nice to be able to kind of find my game a bit today and kind of contribute.
You look at game 3, Poulter steals that game for you guys. 54 saves. Was that kind of a momentum shift for you guys, where you guys came out of that game and said, hey, we can do this?
Yeah. We knew even when we were down 0-2 in the series going over there, that we have, a pretty special group. And, with Pulte back there being unbelievable, every single game, he gives us an unbelievable chance to win. And we knew just sticking together, sticking with our structure, and that we were going to, come out on top.
You look at Filip Engaras, a guy who hadn't really scored much this postseason. 3 goals for him tonight. That's got to be huge.
Yeah. No, I'm really excited for him. He's an unbelievable player. He plays a great 200-foot game. Someone that is a huge part of the reason why we've been winning. He's forecheck, back checking. Playing hard. good on the D zone. So it was nice to be able to see him contribute offensively and be a big part of the reason why we won today.
You know, a lot of guys have talked about it. You know, you guys win tonight. You guys get that extra day of rest before you guys play Florida on Friday. How big is that for you guys, knowing how tight your schedule's been this postseason?
Yeah, no, it's huge. It'll be nice to be able to just be away from the rink for a day, be able to just reset, relax, just hang out with the guys away from the rink, and give the body a little break before getting back at it.
Your line tonight, you, Roman, Engaras. Talk to me just about those line mates and how they kind of allowed you to play so freely, and then the sauce pass across to Engaras for the goal. A thing of beauty.
Yeah, thank you. No, it was unbelievable playing with both of them today. They both work extremely hard. They win their puck battles, which then allows us to play offense, allows then me to get the puck and make plays and make passes offensively. So it's unbelievable being able to play with them.
What's been your mindset, this postseason? Obviously, the vendor got a couple guys back from Utica, but it's got to be huge, for guys up and down the line. What's been your mentality, kind of, when you get scratches, it's just like, hey, we have a great team, the depth is there, just to get guys rest?
Yeah. No, it's, a man-up mentality. You can't take it personal. You're here to be a part of the team, and when you're in, do everything you can to help allow us to win. And when you're not, kind of just be that positive person, around the rink in the room, and kind of just, wait for you to get back in the lineup.
You look at a guy like Alex Young, he'd come in this year, he played great at the end of the regular season. He had a couple of really nice chances tonight. It's got to see him, getting those great chances.
Yeah. No, he's a really good player, really fast, really good shot. So it's, tough, not playing for a few games and getting back in the lineup, but I think he played really well.
You mentioned it before, but, coming from college, and you just said not playing as frequently, how do you adjust to that, cardio-wise, to get and be ready to play every game, and you don't know if you're called upon or not?
Yeah, biggest thing is just taking care of your body, putting in the nutrients required to allow yourself to prepare and rest, stretching, biking, doing everything you can to allow your body to feel the best that it can. And then also obviously, especially come playoff time, everyone's banged up and going through fatigue, and it's kind of just being mentally tough and being able to overcome that.
What's the mentality for you guys going into game one against Florida?
Just start off strong. Take it shift by shift. Kind of, doing the same thing that we've been doing, keeping it simple. Back checking hard, forechecking, finishing our heads, just playing tough, and then wait for the game to open up, and then allow our skill to take over.
Thanks a lot.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Appreciate it. Have a good rest of your night.
You too.